गुड इवनिंग दोस्तों। मैं सोचता हूँ कि यू ऑल मस्ट बी हैप्पी एंड एंजॉइंग योर सेल्फ। खैर जेंटलमैन, मैं आपके साथ बात करने लगा हूँ ऑन पाकिस्तान। आप जानते हैं पाकिस्तान इंडिया का नेबर है, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली पाकिस्तान का रास्ता और हिंदुस्तान का रास्ता अलग अलग है। दे आर नॉट गोइंग टुगेदर। इनफैक्ट पाकिस्तान जो है वो कंसिडर करता है दैट इंडिया इज़ देयर एनिमी। ये सब तो ठीक है, अगर पाकिस्तान में कुछ प्रॉस्पेरिटी होती, लोग खुश होते, पर ये बात दुरुस्त नहीं है। द फैक्ट इज द पीपल इन पाकिस्तान आर वेरी अनहैप्पी। देर इज रन अवे इन्फ्लेशन, food is not available, the Pakistan government is deeply in debt, they cannot pay their creditors. On top of it, the Pakistan army is like a white elephant which is eating into the finances of the country. Ever since General Ayub Khan took over the dictatorship of Pakistan in 1958, when he carried out a military coup d'etat, since then Pakistan has a downslide for the last 67 years. और नीचे ही नीचे गए, एंड फाइनली दे हैव रीच्ड ए पॉइंट विच इज़ कॉल्ड द एबिस ऑफ नो रिटर्न। यानी उनको अब समझ में नहीं आ रहा हम करें क्या। अब पाकिस्तान आर्मी जो है दे हैड टू रिमेन इन पावर, बिकॉज एक बार जैसे शेर होता है अगर उसको ह्यूमन फ्लैश का टेस्ट पड़ जाए देन ही लाइक्स टू टेक ह्यूमन फ्लैश ओनली, बिकॉज इट इज़ ईजियर टू किल ए ह्यूमन बीइंग देन टू किल ए रन अवे डियर और ए हेयर और समथिंग लाइक दैट। इस कारण पाकिस्तान आर्मी भी उसी टाइप की आर्मी है जिसको इजी मनी चाहिए और पावर भी चाहिए, एंड दे विल रिसॉर्ट टू एनी मेथड टू होल्ड ऑन टू इट। इनके एक जनरल आए थे, जनरल जिया उल हक, जिसका नाम था दूसरों ने दिया हुआ है मुल्ला जनरल। दिस मैन actually is the one who brought Pakistan down to the present condition. He passed such laws in Pakistan like the blasphemy law and the Hudud ordinance, which put Pakistan 1000 years behind time. Let us first take up the blasphemy law which he passed. This law made death a mandatory punishment for anyone indulging in blasphemy against the Prophet. Earlier, the maximum punishment was life imprisonment, and nobody had been convicted under this law earlier to General Zia. But now there are 115 people on death row, and 98% of them are the minority community, that is the Christians and the Hindus. तो आप अपनी जजमेंट लगा सकते हैं इसका क्या मकसद था इस लॉ का। फिर उसने एक हुडूड ऑर्डिनेंस पास कर लिया जिसमें क्राइम्स अगेंस्ट वुमेन लाइक रेप वर पुट अंडर द शरिया। ये उसने किया ताकि मुल्ला खुश हो जाए। मुल्ला में पाकिस्तान की जो मुल्ला हैं इनकी एक बहुत बड़ी इच्छा है टू कीप द वुमेन डाउन, एंड दे शुड ओनली नॉट गो टू स्कूल कॉलेज बट ओनली प्रोड्यूस चिल्ड्रन। और इसी कारण पाकिस्तान की पॉपुलेशन जो है इज बर्जनिंग, इज ग्रोइंग अप। एक टाइम था इन 1971 व्हेन पाकिस्तान ब्रोक इनटू टू, द पॉपुलेशन ऑफ बांग्लादेश was more than that of Pakistan. But after a lapse of half a century, Pakistan's population is about 60 to 70 crores more than that of Bangladesh. तो आप सोच सकते हैं कि क्या हो रहा है। All the Pakistani men are doing is only producing children, and there is no work output. Now Pakistan is facing a Hobsons choice. There is an insurrection on. There is a party called the Pakistan Taliban which wants to enforce the Sharia there, and they are carrying out a fight against the Pakistan government. Then there is a Baluch Liberation Army which is fighting for the freedom of Baluchistan. And then of course the Pathans are also fighting for their rights in the Pakhtunwali province, that is the old northwest frontier. सो जेंटलमैन, ये सब जो खबरें आपको मिलेंगी, इट जस्ट शोज दैट पाकिस्तान इज इन डायर स्ट्रेट्स. और अभी एक ऐसी खबर मैं आपको सुनाऊंगा विच जिस विल मेक योर हेयर स्टैंड ऑन एज. द चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ द पाकिस्तान हाई कोर्ट, सुप्रीम कोर्ट, recently gave a verdict in which he acquitted a Ahmadiyya Muslim of the crime of blasphemy. The Chief Justice, who is a well known jurist, had carried out a study of the case and found there was no evidence against the accused, and so he released him on bail and acquitted him. This was the signal in Pakistan for a violent demonstration to start, and crowds gathered all over the city and laid siege to the Supreme Court, and they were asking and chanting for the head of the Chief Justice. They were saying that he should be beheaded, and one of the speakers, was offering rupees 1 crore as bounty money for the killing. Now you can imagine this. What is the situation? The Pakistan army, as usual, as I told you, is totally silent. They are doing nothing. And General Munir, the chief of the Pakistan army, as it is, has his hands full because General Faiz, who was his rival and the chief of the ISI, has now been arrested on charges of corruption. I'll come to that later. But इस वक्त situation ऐसी है, it's very volatile. What does the Chief Justice do? अरे वो घर भी नहीं जा सकता. He cannot even go home. What will happen to his family? So he has probably got no choice but to escape from Pakistan and run away. So many judges have run away earlier also. And the government of Shahbaz Sharif is also silent. They just don't know what to do. And they are just sitting on their haunches. I thought that Nawaz Sharif, once he had come back from London and the charges were exonerated against him, he would come out openly against such nefarious activities and fatwas, but he's also silent. I haven't heard him say anything on this issue. And I think he's just thanking his stars that he's been acquitted of the corruption charges. And this was bound to happen because the corruption charges, I think, themselves were faked. And the Pakistan army had just used them as a convenience to throw him out as the prime ministership. And this was the third time he was thrown out by the Pakistan army. So when he won a modicum of majority with the help of his like-minded party, he was not ready to become the Prime Minister of Pakistan and relinquished the appointment in favor of his younger brother, Shahbaz Sharif. और Shahbaz Sharif, आप जानते हो, is not a man of caliber. उसका कोई caliber नहीं है. He is a man who is standing with folded hands before America and China, begging for money. Bhi paisa do. He goes to Saudi Arabia, says, give me money for this thing. And Saudi Arabia is giving him money, knowing perfectly well that Pakistan is not going to return that money. Why they are doing it? That only Prince Salman bin Saud can explain why they are giving it. Because the Saudis have earlier also burned their fingers when there was a connection to the attack on the trade towers and it was traced to Saudi Arabia. Salman, of course, is a different kettle of fish. He's trying to modernize the country, and he other day made a statement that the same thing could happen to him. That is, he could be killed or murdered like Anwar Sadat was killed. I'll discuss this in a later video. But at the moment, as far as Pakistan is concerned, it is going through fire and hell. And the Pakistan government doesn't know what is happening. Another very important thing which we must remember is the army, which is supposed to be controlling Pakistan, is just fattening its belly, building up weaponry and all that. But the net result, gentlemen, as you are aware, they haven't won a single war in their life. They were defeated in the 65 war when they had everything going for them and they could have captured Kashmir. In 71, they lost half the country and created a world record. No army has lost half a country. In 98 Kargil war, they had to beat a ignominious retreat from the Kargil hills. And they were even scared to claim the dead bodies of the soldiers who had been killed. saying that they are not of Pakistan army. Pakistan is now facing a Hobson's choice. I think there's no choice because now they have gone down the abyss of no return, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया है. The ISI, the topmost security agency and spy agency in Pakistan, is actually more powerful than the army. And the man who heads that is more powerful than the army chief. The man who was heading this organization was General Faiz, but he resigned the day General Munir was made the army chief. General Faiz actually was very close to Imran Khan, and if Imran Khan had remained prime minister, he would have become the army chief. And this man created quite a stir when the moment the Taliban took over, and he flew into Kabul and was seen having a cup of tea with the Taliban leaders. Everybody thought that, look, this man's got such a lot of influence. But they didn't know that he had signed his death warrant by being close to Imran Khan. Imran Khan was a thorn in the shoe of the Americans, and he had to be removed. And so the Americans carried out a coup d'etat of their own. Imran Khan was overthrown by a midnight vote, and now he's sitting in jail. And General Faiz was also made to sit outside. But then the Americans have given some dough, rather like say some information on Faiz, and it has been correlated and checked, and has found that he's a man who has made billions of dollars by underhand means, and he's been arrested on charges of corruption. अभी तो सिचुएशन ऐसी है कि पाकिस्तान में they would be scared to prosecute General Faiz also, because अगर वो उसको करेंगे तो जैसे कहते हैं ना, Pandora's box will open and more ills will come out, and you'll find out that all the Pakistani jailers are eating money. So I don't know how they're going to resolve this issue. They probably send him into exile or something like that. They dare not punish him. That's my personal feeling. And Imran Khan, of course, will remain in jail. He will be given an option that either you leave the country and go away, or we will execute you. I'm being very frank about it. Now Pakistan is at its teether's end, Economically, they are bankrupt, and they are facing insurrection and discontent in Azad Kashmir, that so-called Azad Kashmir which they have occupied. And there is a unrest in Sindh. There is a revolt on in Balochistan. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, that is the northwest frontier erstwhile, the Pathans and the Taliban are claiming large tracts of territory. They want independence. And then on top of it, they have the terrorist organizations which are fighting the Pakistan army, and they want the introduction of Sharia. Now you add all this is a witch's cauldron. And ये कैसे हुआ? It happened because Pakistan was running with the hare and hunting with the hound. इन्होंने जो terrorist organizations हैं, they mushroomed under the aegis of the ISI, the Pakistan intelligence. इनका पर्पस था that there are two types of terrorists, good terrorists, bad terrorists. So उनका good terrorists का मतलब ये है कि you go and attack India and do something, and the bad terrorists are the ones who are fighting Pakistan. So you can fight them, but the terrorists who are going to Kashmir, they are doing a damn good job. They are waging jihad, they are doing this thing, that thing. एक बात तो है कि the army in Pakistan total failure है. आप कंपेयर करिए with the role of the Pakistan army and the role of the Turkish army when General Mustafa Kemal took over in Turkey and threw out the caliphate. Almost 75 to 80 members of the Turkish caliphate were exiled and told not to come back to Turkey for 50 years. And Kemal Mustafa declared a secular republic, and he decided to modernize Turkey. And this is on record that Turkey is as modern as any of the European states. There has now been a little bit of backlash because President Erdogan has come in, but he has not been able to change the secular constitution which has been left behind by Ataturk, who was known, Ataturk means the great Turk. So instead of doing something good like General Mustafa, who was the field marshal of the Turkish army, the Pakistan army has been hand in glove with the mullahs, hand in glove with terrorist organizations, hand in glove in eating money, hand in glove in bringing forth obscurantist and retrograde laws like the blasphemy laws into Pakistan. The purpose is simple: control the people through religious dogma. And this has become so bad that even an innocent man can get killed in Pakistan on any plea. You may remember that the Sri Lanka manager who had been working for many years in Pakistan was bludgeoned to death by a crowd, rather lynched to death, on charges of blasphemy. There was a Chinese also who was caught, and he would have also been lynched but for the intervention of the police, and he went away to China. China is the big supporter of Pakistan, but very soon the Chinese will realize that they are backing the wrong horse. All their money has been sunk there, and Pakistan is an unreliable nation. Now the question is, what is going to happen to Pakistan next? You see, there's an old saying which I remember when I was in school. I read an article written by Acharya Bhave, in which he had said he had asked a student who was doing school, what will you do next? He said, I'll go to college. Then he asked the same student after some time, after college, what will you do? He says, first I will do BA and then I will do MA. Good. And after that, what you will do? The man couldn't answer any question because he had no plan after that. And that is the problem with the Pakistan army. They've got no plan now whatsoever what they are going to do next. And the next situation, I will tell you what is going to happen. There is going to be a breakup of Pakistan. Ab to koi historical necessity hai. It's a historical necessity. And I have seen some very learned Pakistani commentators trying to gloss over what's happening in Pakistan, the Pakistan army. But I don't blame them because उनको खुद डर है कि हमको पकड़ के किसी फांसी पे न लटका दे. After all, the Pakistan army hanged their own Prime Minister Zulfikar Ali Bhutto at midnight against all regulations and the jail manual. They have been doing these things repeatedly. General Musharraf had a hand in the killing of Benazir Bhutto, and it is something continuing since 1951 when Liaquat Ali Khan, the colleague of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, was shot dead in a park in Rawalpindi. You can't forget all that. So there has been this thing continuing throughout. And I will say Pakistan is the land of Hades. You know who is Hades? Hades is the land of death. And unless Pakistan breaks up, I don't think there's any future for this country at all. Saudi Arabia may try to help them, they will. But I think the Saudis themselves should be careful because they are playing with fire. Either they should be very clear that Iran and Turkey want the leadership of this Muslim world, and Saudi Arabia has to hold on to that by showing something progressive. Salman is not showing anything progressive by backing Pakistan of all countries. Now I understand there was a delegation which had gone to Pakistan from Saudi Arabia to manufacture some weapons there. I mean, Pakistan, the last country anybody would like to invest. No other country in the world is investing in Pakistan. And to talk of Muslim brotherhood is a eyewash because there is no brotherhood among Muslims. They kill each other, and it's like cockroaches, they keep killing each other. That's what's happening. The Muslims were divided even when Saddam Hussein and Gaddafi were there. And now also they are divided. There is a terrorist organization like Hamas and Hezbollah moving around, supported by Iran. And then you have the other opponents of that, which are basically the UAE and Egypt and Jordan, because they are the monarchies, and in case there is a whirlwind which blows, these monarchies and things may be blown away if they don't take a positive stand now. I'm glad they realize the danger and they are not backing Hamas. And neither are they backing Hezbollah. Jordan doesn't back it, Egypt doesn't back it. They know the stakes. But Turkey, which has an axe to grind, is backing these organizations, so is Pakistan. Now, Pakistan jumps into the fray every time, when something comes up. They think they are the custodians of Islam. Actually, they are the ones who have denigrated Islam, bringing Islam down, and doing acts which are unbecoming of a pious Muslim. Recently, there was a news that in Balochistan, a statue of Jinnah was pulled down. Muhammad Ali Jinnah was a secularist and had said that all religions in Pakistan are equal and have the right of worship. The Pakistan constitution also says that, but practically you can see what has happened now, like the Chief Justice of Pakistan facing a threat of beheading, unheard of anywhere else. So, gentlemen, Pakistan is on its last legs, and I'm pretty sure that the time is going to come when Pakistan is going to be wiped out. So, gentlemen, I feel very sad when I have to talk about these matters. Pakistan is in the throes of death, and the Pakistan leadership knows it. The only thing they can think of is to have a war at this stage and try to restore the confidence of the people. But war is going to destroy Pakistan, and that will be a footnote in history as far as Pakistan is concerned. Pakistan is going to break up because there is no other solution in a country where a Chief Justice cannot dispense justice and his decisions are not honored. You can well imagine what's going to happen to Pakistan. I hope you like this video, gentlemen. If you like it, please share it, subscribe to it. I will close now and say goodbye, and I look forward to talking to you again.